Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we'll be doing a review for Batman Gotham by Gaslight, The Kryptonian Age. This is a new book from DC Comics. Let's talk about the creative team before we get into this book. This book is written by Andy Diggle with art by Leandro Fernandez, Dave Stewart on colors, Simon Boland on letters. So as you may know, this is a continuation, a sequel to the classic Batman Gotham by Gaslight. Gotham by Gaslight is a 52-page one shot. You can go check that out. It's actually very good. It not only led to the creation of this, but it's also been turned into an animated film. And it really goes back and creates its own little Elseworld, which is really, really fun. In this issue, though, the new era of Elseworlds kicks off with the return of its crown jewel, the mysterious and gothic world originated by Brian Augustine and Mike Mignola. When a mysterious meteor falls on the wide open plains of the Midwest, it will unleash a chain of events that find Gotham's bizarre Batman contending with not just the twin threat of Catwoman and a mysterious international assassin, but also the emergence of a superhuman being beyond all comprehension. The sequel series expands on the 19th century DC universe beyond the confines of Gotham City, showcasing bold new visions of once familiar heroes. Do not miss it. So yeah, this is the fun part about this Elseworlds is that you take existing concepts like Superman in this case, and you give them a twist. You put them in a different world. In this case, a 19th century, very steampunk aesthetic type of Gotham, very much a dark and noir world, which is really really fun. It's very interesting. I really love Gotham by Gaslight, and I think following up on that world is uh, a really good way to continue that tradition. This issue itself, we see, like I said, a lot of familiar tropes, a lot of familiar stories. I think Diggle slowly introduces a lot of the aspects of the worlds that we're going to explore, which is really fun. But I think if you're a long time DC reader, you'll figure out who's coming into the fold, what's happening into play. And then also, if you're not, this is just a new blank slate for you to kind of lean into. So, yeah, I really like this first issue. There's a lot of setup, so it is a little bit paced more as a welcoming, as opposed this book does not assume that you have read Gotham by Gaslight, which I think is great. Right, it's always good to welcome in new readers like that. But I really enjoyed the story, the things that are being set up, and I really can't wait to see where this goes. Because there's so many places you could really expand this story into. I think a fun part, Leandro Fernandez, that making sure that all these character designs, specifically the Batman that was made by really a classic design by Mike Mignola, uh, bringing that and approaching that in the same way, and giving new characters that we hadn't seen that are part of this world a very similar aesthetic while still keeping an individualistic style. I think that really works. Um, the pacing really works well for the panel. So let's go take a look at some of the preview art here. These are the first three pages, and we're here in Kansa tribal territory. So of course everything's a little bit different, or how it used to be in the 1800s. But like I said, you'll recognize this as Martha Kent and Jonathan Kent, and they see a meteor falling to the sky from the sky, and then you see the old familiar trope, right? But there's a twist, right? The Kansa tribe is looking on them; they are aware of what's going on here, so we don't know that the story will eventually go where we are used to. There's also a really fun heist aspect to this, because of course, Catwoman is involved with this. There's also a different group, a different league that shows up, that's new to this world. So yeah, all those familiar tropes of the heroes that you like, put into this old classic gothic type of world. It makes for a really fun comic, and I really really enjoyed it. So, and of course, one of the things is that when you do stuff like this, you get to see just really cool variant covers, because I mean, the artist can go back and they can emulate and they can expand on stuff they like to do. So, hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Blue Beetle number 10. We are almost at the end of the series, and it saddens me, but it's very exciting to see where we're going. Pinnacle is on the loose, but let's talk about the creative team before we get into that. This is written by Josh Trujillo with art by Adrian Gutierrez, Will Quintana on colors, Lucas Gattoni on letters, and a fantastic cover by Gutierrez and Luis Guerrero. Yeah, I love seeing the gigantic pinnacle just really given into the mission. So, in this issue, Pinnacle targets Palmera City. Victoria's Court new creation Pinnacle is proving to be more and more dangerous the longer it stays online. Can Jaime and Kaji patch up their connection in time, or will Pinnacle turn Palmera City into a totalitarian wasteland? High stakes here for the third chapter of this Pinnacle story. Um, I think one of the things that I appreciated the most here is that you know, Trujillo has for the run of the series, this and Graduation Day, been building the lore and been building like these characters around Jaime, and I think everything is really coming to fruition in this one. Once again, the community is really stepping up. Pinnacle, it seems like a real big threat for sure, especially with being part of alien technology, just like the Beetle is alien technology. And then the last aspect that I really enjoyed of this issue was the relationship between Victoria and Ted Court. Ted Court is back. If you missed out on Blue Beetle number 7, go back and read it. It's a hoot. But yeah, Ted is back, and now we have a little bit more support. I love the relationship between Jaime and Ted because they are both different Blue Beetles, but their the core, their mission, like it's very similar. It's very much like uh, they are focused on the same thing, even if they have to go through different means to get it. So that's really cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed this issue. Once again, like Gutierrez has been knocking out of the park every issue and continues to amaze me. Just really cool establishing shots, really interesting fight scenes, and then just the character designs, right? Pinnacle as it evolves and it kind of changes, and then as for a hero that is wearing a mask and a full body suit, like Gutierrez and team managed to do the Blue Beetle so expressive. Like you can tell exactly what's going on in Jaime's mind. Just going from this panel into the next as you see the shadow like just fully in darkness, and then Ted reaching out to him and you see his eyes just really literally light up. Oh, that is so much fun. And here we see the once again the siblings working together, and then just giving you everything you need. The design of the Blue Beetle mobile, I forget what it's called, the Scarab. The design of the Scarab is just so much fun. So like, yeah, it really works. I'm in love with this series, and like I said, I'm glad to see that the creators are have been giving enough time and a chance to bring this all to a close on their own terms. But I'll miss this series. This was one of the things that I've been reviewing on a weekly basis ever since it came, or a monthly basis ever since it started. So, but yeah, very excited to see how we conclude the story. There's, of course, there's a lot of really cool action that I'm not going to show you because I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, this book continues to be fantastic. So, hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Green Lantern number 12. This is the reunion between Green Lantern and Star Sapphire. Very exciting stuff. So let's take a look at the creative team here. For the main story, we have writer Jeremy Adams with art by Hermanico, colors by Romulo Fajardo Jr., letters by Dave Sharp. We do have a backup story that continues to follow the House of Brainiac stuff with Guy Gardner and Lobo. I won't really go into that. I'm mainly focusing on the main issue because this is the third issue of that, so I don't want to get into any House of Brainiac spoilers. So let's talk about this issue though. Having uncovered the truth behind the United Planets, Hal and the rest of the 2814 Lanterns desperately try to escape the hands of the United Planets, the Lanterns Ring Hunters, and the terrifying Unseen. Only a former ally gives Hal a chance of survival, but will they be too late to save him from certain doom? And as I mentioned, we have the continuation of Guy Gardner and Lobo's adventure as it gets somehow even crazier. So, what is going on here? I really enjoyed this issue. I think Uh, the whole United Planets, the reveals that we've had all throughout the past few issues have been insane. Like they just keep getting crazier. Now that Hal's back in space, we get to see some of our favorite lanterns, including my favorite lantern, Kyle, who's going through some heavy, heavy stuff. And it's just showed and portrayed here so in such a cool manner. Uh, there's so much fighting. There's like, of course, coming in the allies coming in at last minute, and but even then, surprises don't stop. I think one of the things that Jeremy Adams has done really well in this series is when we know. So this issue is not really a spoiler, but at the conclusion, we are moving on to the absolute power event. Like after that, and this is all kind of, if you've been reading in between the lines, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of connecting on to that. There's connective threads between that story and the Green Lantern issue. So Jeremy Adams is really good at writing to the event. Like he knows when there's going to be a break. Like he did it with Night Terrors. It was the last issue. You see the airplane going in, and then from there, right before Night Terrors, and then we go into Night Terrors and then spin out of that. So I think Jeremy Adams is just really adept at making sure to leave you at a very satisfying point of the story, but also prepare you for what's coming for the big event. If there's going to be some kind of tying into that may pause the current storyline that's going on, or that may even explore the storyline that's going on further. And of course, Harmonico, just probably one of my favorite Green Lantern artists now. Like, just really cool. Like, whenever it comes to the constructs and the designs of the Green Lanterns, and then all these, the Ring Hunters, like, there are so many characters per page in this book. It is crazy. So let's go take a look at some of the preview art here. Here we see the resistance cores at the base and some of the ring hunters, and they're looking for Kyle, and they think they have Kyle surrounded and trapped. And of course, like I said, Kyle's going through something. I don't think he's fully in his right mind, but he's still a powerful lantern, and that shows here. And I love Harmonico and the team just exploring that, and the explosion of like even destroying the construct here for the lantern that has to be in water. So yeah, it's really, really cool. And then of course, as I mentioned, you get just characters galore. Green Lanterns, and then the Ring Hunters, and just everyone involved here. It's such a kick-ass issue. There's like pages and pages of this stuff, and then like I said, we get to a very satisfying conclusion when as you probably guessed it from the cover, the Starfire shows up. So this is amazing stuff. Just one of my favorite ongoings at the moment, and another reason that I'm reviewing this on a monthly basis. So if you're reading Green Lantern, let me know what you think about this issue. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.